You have tried to love correctly. You have given more than you had. You have held on when you should have let go, and let go when you should have held on, and you still do not know what went wrong. Before this ends, one teaching on this list will name something you have felt for years, but never had a word for. The fifth teaching, especially most people cannot accept it. But the ones who do find that their entire relationship to love shifts permanently. His name was Jalal ad-Din Rumi. He was already a respected scholar and theologian in Konya when a wandering dervish arrived, a man named Shams of Tabriz, ragged, uninvited, and carrying ideas so destabilizing that Rumi's own students would eventually murder Shams to protect their teacher from them. What most people believe about love, that it is something you find, something that fills you, something that completes the self. What Rumi actually discovered after the loss of the person he loved most is almost the opposite. Love is not what fills the hole. Love is what burns the hole open so something larger can enter. Teaching 1. Love is a mirror, not a merger. Rumi wrote, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. This is not the instruction of a romantic. This is the instruction of a surgeon." When Shams disappeared, apparently killed by Rumi's jealous students, Rumi did not close. He turned inward and found Shams there. He wrote, "Why should I seek? I am the same as he. His essence speaks through me." The most important teaching is still coming, and it will ask something of you. Teaching 2. Love without possession. The Sufi poets were obsessed with longing, not because they believed love required perpetual separation, but because they understood that the moment you try to cage what you love, you kill it. The paradox Rumi describes again and again is this: the more completely you release the need to possess love, the more fully love is actually able to inhabit you. Clinging creates the very emptiness you feared. Teaching 3. Love as spiritual practice. The Sufis created the practice of Sama, the whirling ceremony, as a form of prayer. By spinning, the dervish enacts the movement of the cosmos around its divine center. The left hand reaches downward to receive from the earth. The right hand reaches upward toward heaven. The human body becomes a conduit. Rumi did not separate love from spiritual development. For him, they were the same path. To love genuinely, deeply, without ego, was to move closer to the divine reality behind all appearances. Teaching 4. You must return to yourself. Here is where Rumi diverges most sharply from the popular notion of romantic love. Modern culture tells you to lose yourself in love, to be consumed, to dissolve the boundaries between self and other. Rumi says, no, not because he was unromantic. He was one of the most romantically extravagant poets in human history, but because he understood that a self that has been dissolved cannot actually love. You need a center to give from. You need a self in order to offer it. He wrote, "Inside you there is a world. Do not be afraid of it." The return to self that Rumi describes is not selfishness. It is the recognition that the ground of love is the self you have cultivated through solitude, reflection, and spiritual honesty. In practice, this means that loving someone else well requires you to maintain your own inner life, your own silence, your own relationship with whatever you find sacred, your own questions that have nothing to do with the other person. Teaching 5. Love is transformation, not comfort. The moth to the flame is another central Sufi image. The moth is not stupid. It knows the flame will consume it. But it is drawn anyway because the alternative is a life of circling in safe, cold darkness, which the moth understands is its own kind of death. This teaching is the most demanding because it asks you to stop running from the parts of love that are difficult, the discomfort of being truly known, the grief of loss, the uncertainty of genuine vulnerability, the parts that ask more of you than you thought you had. Rumi's answer to this demand was music, poetry, and ecstatic surrender, not as escapes from difficulty, but as practices that keep the heart soft enough to receive what love is always trying to give. These 5 teachings love as mirror, love without possession, love as spiritual practice, love that returns you to yourself, love as transformation add up to a single radical claim. Real love does not diminish you. It enlarges you, not by filling you with someone else's identity, not by solving your loneliness with distraction, but by reflecting the parts of you that were already there, waiting to be seen and called forward. Rumi died in 1273. Thousands of people from different faiths, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, attended his funeral. The diversity of mourners was itself a testament to what his life had demonstrated, that love, practiced with enough depth and breadth, has no walls. If this reached you at the right time, subscribe. We explore the deepest questions of human existence every week so you can live yours more fully.